Alrighty, how's it going, all Autobots and Decepticons alike? I hope that you're having a wonderful day in Icon City. No, I'm joking. How's it going, everybody? Texas Man here. I hope that you guys are all having a spectacular day. If you guys would please give this video a thumbs up. If you guys do enjoy it, subscribe, of course, if you guys have not already. Also, doing the biggest favor of all, hit that bell notification button so you guys don't miss out on future videos. I do stream regularly on Twitch at Douglas447. Currently, I've been doing stuff covering Halo, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and Starfield. I will be doing more stuff for things like Halo and Destiny 2 and Delta Force in the future. So look forward to those streams. If you miss out on them, generally I try to upload them here onto my channel so you guys can watch them that way if you want. But if you want to see my live, raw reactions, Twitch is the place I do it. Again, Twitch, Douglas447. This is going to be my spoiler talk, diving into a bunch of things that happen within 2024's Transformers 1. So I've already talked about Transformers 1 here on the channel. I've done a non-spoiler review, but this is going to be my very long video, so strap yourselves in, talking about Transformers 1. And so in my non-spoiler review, I talked about 5 reasons why I think it's the best film in the franchise. So if you guys didn't watch that, I'm going to talk about it briefly before I start diving into everything else that I didn't have in that video. So first of all, I think the character development and arcs happen because there's no humans involved. Yes! A Transformers movie where there's no humans. Can we please get a round of applause? Oh, finally. That only took I don't know, a couple decades. Shucks. I think the humor works well. The voice acting is really fantastic. There's just a focus on Transformers. There's no humans, and the finale I think sticks the landing because it ends the main plot of the movie, but it also does tease a sequel. But it doesn't it's not one of those films that leaves the door open necessarily. It's just okay, we concluded the main plot, and here's what could possibly happen. It sets up the whole Autobot versus Decepticon thing at the end. So, when I saw the trailer for this film, I was kind of scared, to be honest, because the trailers kind of made it look kiddie. It looked like Transformers, but for a 3-year-old. The humor, I'm just not interested in. I like the original Transformers show. I like Transformers Prime, the Michael Bay universe. Shoot me. There's some fun moments in there, but for the most part, it's more of a military propaganda film franchise instead of focusing on actual Transformers. So I went into this film watching it, and I had absolutely zero expectations that this film was going to be good. I was pleasantly surprised. I think the trailers for this film do the film a disservice. The trailers don't highlight this film whatsoever. My cat just decided to fall asleep and take a nap while I'm recording on my bed. That's nice. So if you hear any sort of loud, that would be my cat next to me. Crazy cat. Anyways, so I didn't have any expectations, but I was pleasantly blown away. I saw this film. The theater wasn't packed when I saw this film, but there was definitely a very interesting thing happening where me and my mom went and saw it. I dragged her because I told her, hey, it's not live action. It is a cartoon, but there's no humans. So there can't be any sort of college jokes, sex innuendos, nudity, boy trying to get a date or bang some hot chick, or mother talking about baby booties, or, Shia LaBeouf having sex with a Transformer in disguise, or just dumb Knights of the Round Table thing, or Dinobots. It's supposed to be grounded. It's supposed to be back to the basics, back to the origin story of how Orion Pax becomes Optimus Prime and how D16 becomes Megatron. And that's exactly what happened. Okay? There is no humans involved. I can't be more happy about that. If I could scream it to the moon, I would, because I'm just like, I'm so happy. Yes, I made a Dark of the Moon joke. um, but this is definitely the best Transformers film in decades. Um, it has solid action. I think it's going to please fans that have stuck around with the franchise through the highs and lows. I think it'll make people that jumped ship when they decided to do the whole Michael Bayverse. I think it'll bring those Transformers fans back. And I also think it'll bring in new fans. What I mean by that is, like, when I was watching the film, I'm a big Transformers fan. Um, as far as I can remember, I've always loved Transformers. The whole concept of Transformers has always been something I've enjoyed as a sci-fi nerd. And I was watching this, and there's 15, 20 kids behind me with their parents watching this movie, and they were enjoying it. So I think this is kind of one of those moments where it's a generational film. So, I mean, the Transformers started out in the 80s, so the franchise has been around for several decades. So I think it's one of those films that's going to please different generations in all aspects, because it just goes back to basics. And I think it'll also make new fans as well. Um, there's something in it where you're going to enjoy the film. It's great for children 7 to 12, and it's also great for adults. When I was watching the film, our entire theater, even though it wasn't packed, we laughed, we cried, we cheered together. And I think that's really powerful. Chris Hemsworth does a fantastic job voicing Optimus Prime / Orion Pax. I know a lot of people were concerned at the fact that Peter Cullen wasn't coming back to voice Optimus. Chris Hemsworth, however, does a phenomenal job in the role, along with everybody else in their roles. Chris Hemsworth, I think, should have honestly just come in, done Orion Pax, and then when that character switches over and becomes Optimus Prime, I feel like they should have brought in Peter Cullen. I know the guy is 80 or something. He's getting to a point where, he's not going to be around for much longer, unfortunately. But I think Chris Hemsworth did a great job voicing both characters. When that character switches from being Orion Pax to Optimus Prime, along with the voice actor that did D16 / Megatron, when they become those two different, when they switch into those roles that we all know and love, they sound like Optimus. They sound like Megatron. And I'm happy about that. I was very impressed and happy, along with the voice actors that do all the other Transformers in the film. They did a great job. Now, if you know anything about Transformers lore whatsoever, you're going to pick up on little Easter eggs and references. They mention Ironhide, they mention Ratchet. You've got Soundwave, you've got Starscream in the film. Like I said, this is my spoiler review, so here we go. I'm diving into it. There are a lot of Easter eggs and whatnot hidden throughout the film, so you do have to pick them out and listen and watch the movie if you want your Transformers Easter eggs and references delivered to you. So the film centers on the brotherly bond, obviously, between Orion Pax and D16 before becoming Optimus and Megatron. And the film, like I said, it ends with the birth of the Autobot and the Decepticon factions. You do, if you know anything about Transformers as well, you know the outcome. So the outcome of this film is slightly predictable if you know anything about Transformers lore. Now, if you haven't a clue about Transformers lore whatsoever and how Orion Pax and D16 become Optimus and become Megatron, then the ending will shock you. It will be one of those no moments. Now, for me, I'm like, okay, I've basically watched everything Transformers related. My mom hasn't, who saw it with me, and she's like, well, that was really sad. And I'm like, it is, isn't it? These two brothers, these two friends, these two comrades in arms, if you want to call them that. They don't have weapons because their cogs have been removed. But when you get to that point, there's a point in the movie, and if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But there is a point in this film where when Orion Pax and D16 they get cogs, and you start seeing the brotherly bond go from fist bumping each other to shooting one another. You start seeing the de-evolution of their friendship and how it just breaks apart because of what happens in the film. So, when D16 slash Megatron realizes that the leader of the Transformers Sentinel Prime is actually working for their natural born enemy, these bugs, whatever they're called, I don't remember. I'm just gonna call them the bug guys. Um, when D16 realizes that Sentinel Prime has been backstabbing his entire race, D16 makes it a vow to never trust a Prime, which obviously means he can't trust Optimus Prime when Orion Pax becomes one. Um, he is so D16 is so annoyed and so hurt by the deception Decepticons that it leads him to go from being a trusting worker bot to becoming Megatron. So you understand why Megatron goes evil. You understand his viewpoints on why he's doing what he is doing. You sympathize with Megatron, and you understand why he's doing what he's doing. You kind of want him to succeed in a way, but how he's you understand his viewpoints. It's just how he's going about resolving and trying to fix the damage that Sentinel has caused is evil and wrong, which is why you want also Optimus to win, but Optimus is kind of still blinded by the reality and that, some people do need to die, some people do need to be executed, and just locking them up and thinking that they're going to get better over time doesn't work for everybody. So you have that conflicting viewpoint, and I really enjoyed the movie because of that. When you get to that point where Megatron and Optimus go from brothers to enemies, it's so well done, it's so solid, and it makes you cry. It makes you have an emotional connection. This film, you do get emotionally connected to Orion Pax and D16. And the moment they become rivals, the moment they become enemies for life, you're just like, no, oh no. Also, I think the music helped. The soundtrack for this film, top tier, 11 out of 10, well done. The visuals for Cybertron are just gorgeous. It's not one of these dark toned, because we haven't gotten to the Decepticon and Autobot War yet. Cybertron looks phenomenal. The animation for everything is just top tier, well done. It is amazing what this film was able to accomplish in about an hour and 45 minutes. The film doesn't feel like an hour. It feels much longer because there's so much that happens in an hour and 45 minutes. There's so much depth to their characters because they go on, a journey. They have development. They have arcs. They have, depth. They're like onions. They have layers. And there's so much plot, lore, and world building that is done. And you're just like, I want more. Like when the film ended, I'm like, I want more. Give me more now. It's kind of how I feel with Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. I'm just like, give me more of this goodness now. I want more now. I don't want to have to wait 2, 3, 5 years for the next movie. I want it now, okay? I'm patient, but sometimes I want my goodiness now, okay? Last couple things I want to talk about. There is some unnecessary modern day moments in the film. There's a very, very blatant one about it where Bumblebee's like, oh, I get to work for the government! And I'm just like, this is Transformers. That moment pissed me off so much. And it's towards the end of the film. I'm like, really? Why are you ruining such a good movie right now at the very end? I'm just like, really? Oh, I hate that. Thankfully, there is no woke crap, so there's no robots that are females trying to bang other female robots. So at least that's a good thing. They do try to do this middle finger joke, like from Guardians of the Galaxy, with the whole cranking thing, and then the finger comes out. Um, they don't do it, but it's obviously implied. So they do keep it PG, but there are some things that I'm like, okay, you're really getting close into PG-13 territory. There is, like I said, a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene. I highly encourage you guys stick around for them. They are worth it because it does set up the sequel. But if you don't and you just want to watch the movie and walk away, you can do that because, like I said, it does tell a solid A to C plot. You know, it's got a beginning, middle, and end, but it does tease a possible sequel or sequels to come. So, guys, I really enjoyed it. I highly encourage you guys go check it out. Definitely worth the price of an admission ticket to go see. Getting the big screen treatment, the big surround sound system. It's definitely worth it. It's worth every single dollar that you spend. This is by far one of the best Transformers movies, if not the best Transformers movie I've ever seen, and it is up there with being one of the best movies here in 2024. So I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Highly encourage you guys, like I said, go check it out. And have an excellent day. Autobots, roll out. Bye, guys.